this one's where Iron Man... Spoilers!
Then the Lorax.
Spoilers!
So in the end, George Washington died.
Spoiler!
I think most of us can agree that probably one of the most ideal ways to experience something is experiencing it blind. No, not like that. Blind as in having little to no knowledge about the experience you're gonna have. This can apply to things such as movies, shows, video games, and much more. But these three are my main focus here today. Having little knowledge about a piece of media is part of the fun, since you may or may not know what to expect once you are actually in the experience. But then there are those who just get a kick out of ruining other people's fun. Those who commit the 8th deadly sin. The act of spoiling. There's a few ways people tend to spoil things for others. Let's start simple with spoken spoilers, as in someone just straight up telling you a spoiler. Now, to be fair, I feel that these types of spoilers are the most forgivable in my eyes, since it is possible for things to slip out when someone gets excited. Hey, accidents happen, I get that. Best believe I'll make sure it doesn't happen again, but hey, at least I won't completely hate your guts. But when someone deliberately yells out any kind of spoiler, yeah, I'm not really forgiving that. There was this one time back in high school where I had just recently watched Avengers Endgame and it was awesome. I'm sure most of you remember that literally everyone was avoiding spoilers like the plague during that time, to the point where the hashtag "Don't Spoil the Endgame" was trending for a while. Well, I'm glad I was able to watch it not too long after it came out, because only a few days after watching the movie, as we were in the locker room getting ready for PE, someone yelled out, "Iron Man and Black Widow die in Endgame!" While that didn't really affect me all too much, since I obviously already knew that, I'm sure there were a handful of others who were rightfully pissed. I'll be honest, telling someone spoilers is bad, no doubt, but I also really don't like fake spoilers either. Now, if it's something completely ridiculous, like, oh, Kermit the Frog dies in Infinity War, then yeah, that's just a funny haha gag, you know? Meanwhile, if someone gives a spoiler that sounds legit, even though it's not an actual spoiler, it still gives me some kind of expectation, even if it's most likely not gonna happen. This actually happened to me with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It had just come out, but I had to wait a bit before I could watch it since I wanted to watch it in theaters, and the only day I had to be free was the following Tuesday. I met with some family members the same weekend of the FNAF movie. They told me that they had watched the movie the day it came out on Peacock, since, you know, the movie released simultaneously there and in theaters. I told them, oh nice, I still need to watch it though, so don't tell me anything. And after giving me an actual spoiler mere sentences after asking them not to, I just got bombarded with fake but legitimate sounding spoilers. But the fact that these came from people who had already watched the movie, and the fact that they didn't say psych, made me contemplate a bit about whether what they told me was real or not. After watching the movie, I knew that the first thing they told me was real, and the rest was just a bunch of bullcrap. Look man, it's funny when someone's fake spoiler is completely unlikely, again like the Kermit dies in Infinity War thing, but when you're giving fake spoilers that sound legitimate, it just comes off as annoying and kind of shows how you don't care about respecting the wishes of those who don't want to be spoiled, and just want to give them a hard time. Another type of spoiler is what you see posted in social media. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. I swear, a movie won't even be out yet and people will post spoilers that end up being handed straight to me by whatever platform I'm using. Even worse is that the spoiler can be seen on the thumbnail, so you're still affected even without clicking on the video itself. While this is rare for me on other platforms, this is a common occurrence on YouTube. I was able to make exceptions for the previous type of spoiler, but it's really hard to be forgiving for this one, since you deliberately chose to upload a spoiler. Excited or just clout hungry, you still went through the entire process of uploading a video, and throughout it you were like, yep, this is a big brain move right here. The same goes for TV shows. This is part of the reason why I hate it when streaming services like Netflix episode dump a series instead of releasing an episode on a weekly basis. Not only does it kill the hype of the series, but it also gives those who have more time than others a chance to spoil the entirety of it, since now they have more content at their disposal. When it comes to video games, I am shocked at how fast people post the final boss and ending to a game that had been out for not even a whole day. You're telling me that you speedran an entire game just to post the bosses and ending? That just mind boggles me. Now, I know some of these people get early copies of games, so they have extra time to play the game before it's out. But just like those who post movie and TV spoilers, they still made the conscious decision to upload spoilers very soon after a game's release. It's like, come on, at least give us time to actually experience the thing before you post spoilers. I don't know about you guys, but I usually give it about a week and a half until I blame myself for getting spoiled. Since after a while, it's basically my fault for taking too long to watch a certain piece of media or play a certain game. Now, that doesn't mean that someone should deliberately give me a spoiler of something that's been out for more than a week. Rather, if I just happen to come across a spoiler somewhere after that time frame, I'd still be upset, but maybe not as upset. Another way to be spoiled can be during the production of media. We know these as leaks. Someone working on a certain piece of media can leak whatever it is they're working on, whether it be the sets of movies and TV shows, or what video games are to be announced in the near future. I can understand the people working on these are just showing their excitement, and while that's great that someone is showing their enjoyment of working on something that they're really passionate about, I do wish people could show some restraint since it does ruin the surprise. Now, while we may still be happy with the final product, it doesn't hit as hard since the surprises were given to us beforehand. Take for example Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This was the first new Mario 2D platformer since Mario U in 2013, and it was the last announcement made in Nintendo's June 2023 Nintendo Direct, which is where we heard of this game for the first time, right? Oops, look what got leaked beforehand! Don't get me wrong, I was still really happy with this announcement in general, but I'm sure I would have had a bigger reaction if I didn't have the expectation that this was going to get announced. But that's the thing, once you know a surprise is coming, not really a surprise anymore, is it? Another good example is when the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer leaked. Rockstar Games had announced that the trailer was to be released on December 5th, 2023. Now, I've never played a GTA game before, but I knew how much of a big deal this was, to the point where even I was excited to see this trailer. You know who else was probably really excited? The person who leaked the trailer. Yeah, a day before the trailer was set to release, it ended up getting leaked. Afterwards, Rockstar was like, screw it, let's just release the trailer early. So, while the trailer itself was awesome, I feel it lost a bit of its oomph due to the fact that we got it earlier than expected without warning.
You're not supposed to be here.
And that's what really sucks about spoilers in general. It takes away some of the excitement from your experience since you already know what's coming. Even if it's something like a movie or show that has little to no story, it's still ruining the surprises that they offer. For example, the Super Mario Bros. Movie may have had a very simple and safe plot, but in my opinion, it was the surprise of seeing what elements from the games they were going to include that made the experience worthwhile. In the end, you only get to experience things once, and for me, I'd rather my first time be in the experience itself rather than it being told to me or seeing it on a social media For You page. Now what? I was in the middle of something. Oh, somebody posted a spoiler. Well, good thing Discord has that spoiler tag thing so that I don't have to see the image, right? Oh, now I just gotta not tap it so that I don't actually get spoiled. Ooh. Alright, that's it. I'm tired of all these spoilers getting posted everywhere. So let's see how you like it. I broke into Marvel Studios earlier and found their plans for Avengers Secret Wars. Alright, here they are. Oh my gosh, they're reviving Kermit the Frog! Of course they would do that!